Dokkan battle video. So, LR JIREN has been officially put into the data for Global Dokkan. This big bad boy is going to be coming out very, very soon. Now, where exactly you place JIREN among the top units, I would say probably doesn't really matter too much, because he's definitely within the high, whatever. If you would do any sort of tier system or something like that, which probably is a better way to evaluate cards than just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? There's no way JIREN would not be in the top, the tippity top tier. I don't think there's enough separation between any of the top tier units to separate them from JIREN. I mean, I think Turles is a bit better than JIREN, but, Turles does have, I think, more issues with Ki than JIREN has got, for example, right? So I do have JIREN at full level 10 links. As far as equips, we have a little extra defensive equip on him. I might not have needed that, because if we take a look here, this is turn 1, right? Turn 1, and JIREN has 250k defense. So I would consider that pretty good. I think that's pretty outstanding right there. So JIREN, what links? We have Supreme Warrior active, Shocking Speed, Infighter is not active, Godly Power is active, Tournament of Power, and Fierce Battle. So there's 2 links that God Topo does not have that JIREN has. That's Legendary Power, obviously, and Infighter are the 2 links that God Topo does not have. God Topo is probably LR JIREN's best friend, because LR JIREN gets 200% attack and defense at the start of turn, and then he is super effective against all types if the enemy has attack down or defensive down status. Now, it is turn 1, as you guys can see, but God Topo has an effect where he passively lowers the enemy's defense. This is incredibly powerful because many top tier bosses and difficult content in this game, such as UI Goku and Legendary Goku event, have immunity to everything except for defense lowering. So this combo of God Topo and LR full power JIREN works basically everywhere. God Topo is probably JIREN's best friend, because just by being on the same rotation, JIREN is basically at max potential, being able to be super effective against all types. So, you know the meme about JIREN does that turn 1, though? Here you go. This is turn 1, super effective against all types. Let's go ahead and take a look at what JIREN does. 6.31, and again, that is super effective against all types. So, the amount of units that could do what he just did, turn 1, is him, and I think Turles. Well, you probably could say Physical Vegito Blue. I could definitely do that as well. Like the amount of damage JIREN just did right there. So when you say oh, this character's built different, that character's built different, JIREN is actually built different. I mean, that was the equivalent of he just did a 9 million attack set, at the start of the fight. Very impressive. Now, along with this update with JIREN, by the way, a ton, basically every single Universe 11 card that exists in the game comes out with LR JIREN, except for STR JIREN. Casserol's a unit that comes out. The Topo/Pride Trooper Int unit that's on this rotation comes out. God Topo and Dispo both get EZAs as well. So it's just all of these units come out to help JIREN succeed. The thing about JIREN, right? If they did this with every top tier unit, where they just release 6 units who work amazingly with the new unit, every Dokkan Fest exclusive would be amazing. So if, for example, Tech Janemba, I've talked at length about how Tech Janemba disappoints me massively, right? If they treated Tech Janemba the way they treated LR JIREN, then STR Janemba's EZA would have been a Rainbow Orb Changer, and they would have released another unit. I don't know, I can't even think, something from that movie, I'm trying to, the villains, it's just basically Janemba. That's the problem, is basically Janemba, but they would release something that would be able to help Janemba get to full power, right? Alright, so we have Android 17 on rotation, so now we're at basically 300k defense, and that's just pure, stats, pretty much. It's just these really good. Actually, does 17 have Infighter? No, he does not. Okay. We'll put God Topo. No. I'm not going to put God Topo in slot 1. The reason I'm not going to do that, because, okay, so JIREN, right, has an active skill as well. Now, it's going to be very difficult to get this active skill in Dokkan events. The other thing that okay, there's 2 things, right? So his active skill, he has to get hit 5 times. he also gets ki every time he's hit up to 5 times. That's one. So Jiren has one of the best LR ki mechanics in the game, which is just receiving ki when you take damage. That works very, very effectively, right? But what I've found with both Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and LR Jiren is that they do so much damage so quickly, so rapidly, that you're actually moving through the events too fast to where you're not actually really able to even get their active skills, right? Like in Dokkan events, you don't typically see Jiren or Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's active skill. Because again, you're moving through the event too rapidly to be able to obtain it, which, you know, is a bit of an issue. The good thing is that Janemba's dodging like crazy today, so that's going to allow us to take a little bit more time in this event, and we're actually going to be able to, I think, potentially get the active skill. If Janemba does a bunch of attacks at the start right here, which he didn't, okay, he's all attacking at the end. Now, also, this Topo / Pride Troopers unit is another great unit to rock with Jiren. I'm going to do a level 10 links video, by the way, for Jiren, Dispo, and Topo. Jiren, God Topo ZZA, and then Dispo ZZA. But I'm going to be using them like all throughout these videos and stuff like that. I'm not going to do a solo video on the Topo / Pride Trooper right now, but understand that this unit is ridiculous. If you're running him with Jiren, he is super ridiculously good as well. Guarding, supporting, having very high stats. I mean, look at him. So this Topo / Pride Trooper unit is guarding with almost 200k defense. This is a unit that no one talks about. Because you basically, you have to use him with Jiren, right? He's completely restricted to just being with Jiren, but it's insanity. Alright, so I guess we'll have God Topo super attack first. Why not? That's going to go ahead and give a minor attack buff to Jiren. So Jiren's at 270k defense. This is going to be the highest attacks that we've seen from Jiren thus far. Because we're getting 40% from God Topo. He gives that minor attack buff on super attack. And then the Topo / Pride Trooper unit, I believe, is giving 30% attack to Jiren. So this will be the highest attacks that we've seen from Jiren. 7.19. Wow. No death on him, actually. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Janemba is really hanging in there. This is good. Again, this is good that Janemba is doing this. So I've run this new Janemba event quite a bit, and this has not really been happening to me lately. So it's good to see that this Janemba event can still do this, where he just completely stonewalls you. I have no issues with this. I like this because it allows more time to like do showcases and stuff like that. But obviously, if one of these LR Jiren hits connect like this, Janemba's out of here, right? He's not surviving this. So, goodbye. See ya. Okay. Do we have... I don't think we've been hit 5 times yet, have we? We have not. Yeah, see? That's what I was talking about. It's just... It's not going to be common for Jiren to get his active skill. And, I guess Janemba could theoretically survive, but it's not likely. We don't get any extra links, so I guess we'll see if we can get the active skill right here. His full passive will be active, so he'll have full 24 ki. And again, as you guys can see, with God Topo and some of these units around, it's not difficult for Jiren to be at basically max ki every single attack as well, right? Because, he has both shocking speed and turn power, very common ki links, 6.87 right there. And then Supreme Warrior also gives ki. So him and God Topo share, 7 ki? Which is really good, obviously. And then God Topo also gives 1 ki from his passive. So God Topo gives Jiren 8 ki, which is obviously super good. Okay, so let's look at Jiren on a few teams here. He is on 5 categories: Universal Survival Saga, Realm of Gods, Full Power, Universal 11, and Space Traveling Warriors. So we'll look at maybe like Realm of Gods as well, and probably Space Traveling Warriors also. All right, so now we're on Realm of Gods. Now the one thing is that, Realm of Gods is in I don't want to say a bad place or anything with their leaders, but Beerus is, one of the best units in the game. A really, really good leader unit. But he doesn't really work that great with a lot of the, Saiyans that dominate Realm of Gods, right? But he does work really well with Jiren, right? They share, Shocking Speed, Godly Power, and Fierce Battle. I mean, that's pretty good. That's a good amount of attack right there. It's going to be interesting to see if the 6-year anniversary UI Goku has a Realm of Gods leader skill. I actually do want him to, because the old Int UI Goku is super outdated. LR UI Goku, the SCR one, is a really good leader, but only 130% of stats, right? You can definitely get away with it, but you guys know what I'm saying. Okay, so on this rotation, obviously you could see, Jiren's effectiveness is not near the level that it was going to be when you have like God Topo or any other Universe 11 characters around him, right? We are still at 230k defense. This is, again, turn 1. We have those links active. We're not going to be able to get the 18 super attack. And, again, Jiren, I do like the ability to get ki per hit. But, it can be a thing where if the enemy is spreading their damage out a lot, it's going to be difficult to get all that extra ki, right? It could sort of be the similar issue that you could see happen from LR SCR UI Goku as well, right? Where he gets ki every time he dodges. And, if you don't have a lot of those attacks aimed at the spot that LR UI Goku is in, you're not going to really be able to build up that ki very rapidly. So that's kind of the same thing there with our boy Jiren. So, all right, here, let's just... Damn, I actually don't... I want to try and avoid some super attacks if possible. Not really go too crazy here, right? Again, Dokkan events are definitely not, like, designed around you having insane link levels and stuff like that. So, like, you go in here with any characters that are, like, link level 5+, and you just demolish these rounds. Like, it's constantly me trying to, like, not super attack, like miss super attacks and shit like that, because these Dokkan events just go down so quickly. And it's like I like to do showcases a lot of times in normal Dokkan events to get the extra items, and also the different backgrounds, because like Infinite Dragon Ball History works as well, because there's a lot of different like backgrounds in a lot of those fights, which I really like. Like, I like to fight different enemies, have different backgrounds when we're doing the showcases and stuff like that. But Infinite Dragon Ball History, unless you have 2 items, which occasionally is annoying if it's like an order changing unit or something like that. So yeah, look at this rotation right here. So, I mean, this is Jiren only having shocking speed here. And like, this is where, Jiren can have some similar issues with like LR Turles, LR Beerus and Whis. Some of these characters who ki can be an issue, right? But again, if you have any of the topos around, Jiren is fine, but we don't have any of the topos around. So, it's a little bit of an issue. Also, keep in mind that Whis is, giving a 50% attack buff on this turn, since Beerus is on rotation. So, let's go ahead and see how much damage Jiren will do right here. And then next turn, we're going to be able to see it skyrocket up, because of the fact that Topo is going to be added onto the rotation, right? After this, we'll probably go to the Space Traveling Warrior team, too, by the way. And I'll make sure that we can get Jiren's active skill over there on that run, because it's something like if you get it in Super Battle Road, like it's like a GGU1 type thing, but it's not something that you're gonna see, I think, too often. I've routinely been unable to get the active skill to go off a lot, right? Like, it's like you seriously just move way too fast through a majority of the events in the game. So, all right, we'll probably do this one more turn next turn just with Jiren and Topo here. And then, yeah, I definitely want to go to the Space Traveling Warrior team, because, like, as of right now, I probably would say that's my favorite team, the Space Traveling Warrior team led by Bojack. And then having a rotation of LR Turles and a rotation of LR Jiren. I just, like, the speed at which you go through that is just, like, it's beyond belief. It's super crazy. Like, LR Turles and LR Jiren on the same team is just, like, crazy, right? So, okay. Now, look at Jiren's ki on this turn, right? Like, just having God Topo around and things change up dramatically. Actually, I'll put Jiren right here, and we're going to be able to get Jiren's active skill next turn. Yeah, we are. Okay, perfect. So I'll just make sure not to go super crazy on Vegito Blue coming up right here, and we're going to be good to go. Nice. And then, yep, Jiren has full 24 ki now, and his full passive is active. He's got all that shit. So that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And then, yeah, plus 200k defense. That's not really going to do too much, Vegito. Sorry, buddy. 6.31. So, and again, remember, with God Topo, with the enemy having their defense down or attack down, you become super effective against all types. Is Vegito Blue immune to having his defense down? He might be. Oh, that would be interesting. He is. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, there we go. That's pretty rare to encounter an enemy that can't have their defense lowered either. because we saw that Jiren was not super effective against all types. You know, the arrow was not aiming up. That's pretty interesting right there. Okay. Of course, we have Great Key right here. Oh, it's because Beerus... Yeah, Beerus is a Rainbow Orb Changer when he's going up against a Realm of Gods category enemy, which obviously Vegito Blue is. But we probably won't finish him off. Alright, so now next turn we're going to get Jiren's active skill. Strength is everything. Now this is... I mean, this might be like... Well, I don't want to call it the best active skill in the game with the Spirit Bomb existing, right? But like, this is maybe number 2? Maybe? Because this... Okay, so Jiren gives himself 30% attack and defense. Powerful. All enemies get debuffed by 30% attack and 30% defense. And then he guaranteed stuns all enemies for 1 turn. And you could do this after he gets hit 5 times. Now, you might wonder, why does he have an attack debuff and a guaranteed stun? That's good, because there's going to be enemies in the game that cannot be stunned, but they can be attack debuffed. Or maybe vice versa. Maybe the enemy could be attack debuffed. Like, you know, they can't be stunned, but they could be attack debuffed, or they can't be attack debuffed, but they could be stunned. You know, you can get, like, either situation to happen. Okay. So, let's go ahead and activate... Let's see what our stats are. 279k. So, we're going to pop up over 300k attack and defense right here, with Jiren's active skill going up. Now, this enemy, Vegito Blue, he does just so happen to be immune to attack lowering and defensive lowering, right? So, we're not going to be super effective against all types right here, but we can just pretend that we are, right? Okay, so he's at 360k 3 defense. That's balanced, right? We would consider that a balanced number. Yeah, for sure. Definitely, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, real balanced. This boy Jiren is. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look what we do right here. He's at 9.22. Quite good. Goodbye, Vegito. See you in hell. Okay. Goodbye. All right, so now we're on the Space Traveling Warrior team with our boy LR Jiren. Of course, this is where things are going to get really, really nasty for our boy Jiren. The other thing, too, here is that we have the full passive for Bojack. So this is going to be the highest attacks that we've seen yet from Jiren. Because we're getting, what, 50% from Bojack right here? And then we're also getting a 40% from God Topo. I'm going to put Jiren in the second slot. So that way we don't potentially get sealed by Bujin. And hopefully Bujin does not immediately seal Topo, which he did not. Perfect. So we're going to get the little attack buff right here on our boy Jiren. So this is, again, this will be the highest attacks that we've seen in the video from Jiren. I believe so. Okay, so we did that. And then Jiren puts up a solid 7.57. Well, okay, highest without the active skill, I guess, right? Obviously, duh. But pretty good. So, I mean, as you guys can see, Jiren is capable of putting up extreme damage. And again, as you guys also saw, it's not like Jiren is a glass cannon or some shit, because he's also rocking 200k plus defense if you're on a proper category team, right? So Jiren is able to absolutely dominate. Now, Jiren definitely can work incredibly well in the Super Tech stage of Extreme Class Super Battle Road, but you do want to keep in mind that without like a really good Universe 11 tech unit to rock with Jiren, he's not really at his like full potential on that stage, right? Because the only other tech Universe 11 character there is the normal free-to-play Jiren, who would be good if he was a TUR, right? Because that Jiren does have 50% damage reduction. Like, if he got an Awakening into a TUR, that free-to-play Jiren could be quite good. So, you know, maybe we'll see that potentially in the 6th year anniversary. Now, also at the same time, again, the reason I go crazy for the Space Traveling Warrior team is because we could do 2 rotations, right? I'm probably going to put the Int, Topo, and Pride Troopers on rotation with LR Jiren. I'm going to float God Topo. So then at that point, we have 3 floaters. The 2 Bojacks and God Topo, who are just all types, like, well, they're supporting all the different units on the team, right? Because the thing about the Topo / Pride Trooper unit is he's only supporting Universe 11 characters, so we don't really want to use him as a floater, but God Topo, he's just an all types support type unit, right? So God Topo would work as a great floater like this. And, you know, this team, it like offensively and defensively, because again, Jiren and Topo are, Jiren and Turles are like the same thing with how dominant they are in terms of their damage, right? Their damage output is silly. ridiculous. Nonsense. Like, yeah, that's a good way to say it. Jiren and Topo's damage is like, or Jiren and Turles, yeah, I keep saying Topo. Jiren and Turles' damage is like nonsensical. 285k right there. Like, and then he's doing 7 million super effective against all types while having 300k defense. Like, Jiren is actually this good. And then Turles, with Big Bad Bosses and his incredible link set, is likewise able to do very, very impressive things. So, if you are a gold player, I don't necessarily recommend summoning for Jiren because his banner sucks. You don't really want to go for that. But do understand that if you do happen to pull him, he is a monster. But the other thing that's a bit of an issue, especially if you're like a free-to-play player, is that using Jiren with the whatchamacallit is like really helpful. The new Int Topo / Pride Trooper, and like this is his first banner as well. So Turles here is over 300k defense. So that's the thing. Like Turles, I've found a lot of times, like damage-wise, is just slightly stronger. I'm just gonna use a Fruit of the Tree right here. Let's get Turles maxed out. Let's see what Turles' damage is compared to Jiren. Now remember, Turles, unlike Jiren at full key, gets a second. Yeah, so his attack stat is higher, and he has a 50% chance to do a second super attack. This is why I like Turles a bit better, right? And then Turles' active skill is probably easier to do, because all you have to do is fall either low health or turn 8 and beyond, which, good for long events, and then also good for Super Battle Road. So, like, you can't really hate on that, I guess. Like, and you could use Turles' active skill twice, and it does sort of shore up his one weakness, which is key. So, like, this team build right here is the exact reason why I do like Turles a little bit better than Jiren. I'm able to completely have the team built around a way to completely be built for both Turles and Jiren at the same time fairly, and Turles just looks better. Because remember, again, that 8 million attack stat by Turles was super effective against all types, and he had a 50% chance to do a second super attack. Jiren does not have additional supers or attacks built into his passive. Turles does at full key, but again, it's a little bit more difficult for Turles to come across his key, whereas Jiren has the great link set with other Universe 11 characters. And again, you do want to run him with, either the Topo / Pride Troopers or the God Topo EZA, or one of these units to really bring about his full potential. And then again, oh yeah, here, sure. We'll end with the Fruit of the Tree of Might eating. But this Space Traveling Warrior team is definitely my favorite team in the game right now. Probably the build with LR Turles and his TUR on rotation, and then LR Jiren and Int Topo / Pride Troopers on rotation, and then the 2 Bojacks and God Topo as my floaters. It's just, it's a team with power beyond belief, right? So again, let me know what you guys think of LR Jiren. He is really good, worth getting the full level 10 links, worth summoning for if he wasn't on such a shitty banner. I really would say skip. There's no reason. I don't like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's banner either, but that's a much better value banner to summon on than LR Jiren. If you're a global player and you must summon right now, the next Dokkan Fest is probably going to be Gogeta. Summon for him over Jiren. Because, your chances of getting shafted on Jiren are super high, but that boy Jiren is pretty damn good. So understand that.